Good evening. Welcome to a special episode of So Into Bourbon.
Yay!
And tonight we're going to talk about cocktails, holiday cocktails.
Well, we should. It's holiday time.
And are we going to make holiday cocktails?
I don't make cocktails.
No. What we're going to do is go on location to a local establishment.
Yes.
And we're going to visit one of the best bartenders I know. Probably the best bartender here in Southern Indiana.
Is it our cocktail correspondent?
She's our cocktail correspondent. I don't know if she knows that yet, but
Surprise!
Surprise! Amanda Lasley at Fireside, our cocktail correspondent. Hope you enjoy.
Happy holidays.
Okay, so here we are. I'm with Amanda Lasley, our new cocktail correspondent.
Yes.
She didn't know that she was going to get that title, but she has it. So what are we going to do today? We're making some holiday cocktails?
Yes, we are. So I love fall Thanksgiving flavors. I love apple, pumpkin, s'more. And I feel like bourbon drinkers anymore now, they love Jack and Cokes. They love neat things on the rocks. But I feel like giving them something different as far as a mixed cocktail goes is where the market is for bartenders specifically right now. So how about we start with an apple butter old fashioned?
Sounds good to me. Old fashions are one of my favorites.
They're phenomenal. And you can make about 1 billion different kinds of old fashions. But this is not definitely something I would drink every day. But during the holidays, it is warm. It has, the cinnamon, the apple, apple butter, and I think it's phenomenal.
Okay,
Customers really enjoy it at this time of year.
What she did was you kind of twirled the rim of the glass around the ice?
Yes.
Okay, so that's cinnamon on the...
Yes.
Okay.
It's a cinnamon sugar nutmeg. I like all the warm for these seasons. So I love Angel's Envy. Normally, whenever I do this cocktail, a lot of customers that love bourbon like a higher proof. This is just a very smooth, I feel like it can be mixed. It can be drank neat. It's such a great mixing bourbon.
Especially during the holiday.
Oh, 100%. You're going to have more than one or two
or
three.
And when people who may not usually drink bourbon are drinking it, so they have a little bit lower tolerance.
Yes. Yeah. Got to build that up for the holidays. So this is 2 ounces of Angel's Envy. I'm going to give you all the goods. I'm going to tell you the recipes if you want to make them at home for Thanksgiving. Your friends and family are going to love it. So I do 2 ounces of Angel's Envy. I'm going to do 1 teaspoon of apple butter. I know for bourbon drinkers, this might be a sin, but this is so, so good and you're going to love it.
That's interesting.
It is, isn't it?
Now, is this apple butter you just purchased from the store or is this local?
This actually is Huber's apple butter and theirs is phenomenal. The local grocery, they have an Amish apple butter. You can use any, but that one is phenomenal with this as well.
Yeah, for those watching locally here in Southern Indiana, Louisville, Kentucky area, Huber's.
Oh, yes. Huber's is great. I am going to do 1.5 ounces of apple cider. So this is apple forward, but you're really going to get your bourbon in it as well. And then I'm just going to use regular Angostura. It's your warm aromatic bitters. Or black walnut is really good in this as well. So I'm just going to do 2 dashes. And then I'm going to splash it with just a little bit of apple or soda water just to cut your sweet just a little. And then we're going to garnish this with none other than a big ice cube because, we must. We're going to stir this a little. And you get to be my official taste tester.
I am looking forward to this.
And I love cinnamon stick is beautiful on this. A little apple slice, and you have yourself an apple butter old fashioned.
That's beautiful.
Sir. It is. It's a show stopping cocktail. Honestly.
Let's see if I can. Not sure how well this will show to the camera, but so I'm anxious for this because I'm not I was telling her before we started I'm not a big apple cider person. So
I think that it's very smooth and you're going to enjoy it. What do you think?
Very good.
What do you get first whenever you drink it?
So, for me, I get the apple cider right up front, and maybe that's because that's something that I don't normally drink. So, but then it really smooths out with the cinnamon.
Yes, I like the rim.
And the Angel's Envy, I think, was the perfect
Yes.
Perfect.
And if you know that there's people that are not going to like cinnamon, you can half rim the glasses.
Yeah.
And this is very easy to batch and then add as you go. So it's a fun, you can even ladle it out or put it in a vat, and it's really, really nice for if you're serving a lot of people too.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to have another drink.
Yep. Sip, sip, sip away.
That's very good.
Is it good?
That could be dangerous too.
I'll drink after you on the other side. We'll take a sip of this. See, I get apple butter first whenever I really taste the apple butter in this.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Very good.
Delicious.
Very good.
All right. On with the next. This is my absolute favorite of all the cocktails that I've done this fall. This is the s'mores old fashioned.
Okay, I'm really looking forward to
this. So this is so good. So I'm going to rim this with a brown sugar rim. So you're going to get everything. You're going to get marshmallow. You're going to get chocolate. You're going to get graham cracker with this drink. It's definitely a show-stopping cocktail. I like to just run ice on my rim, make it a little bit wet. The graham cracker will stick that way.
That works really well, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, it's a great rim every single time. So again, we're going to do 2 ounces of our Angel's Envy, which is a great smooth bourbon. I even like just this on the rocks is perfect.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely, no, you cannot. The rye is really, really good too with that rum cask that they finish it in.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. A lot of times I know a rye whiskey is really good for old fashioned because it holds up a little bit better.
It does.
A little bit more of a higher proof. I prefer most of the time when I'm having an old fashioned, something 100 proof or more.
Yes, a lot of people do. And I'm getting a lot more rye drinkers that love an old fashioned with a rye versus just a regular bourbon cocktail.
Right.
So that's really coming in too. So we are going to use Aztec chocolate bitters. It is such a good bitters, and you're really going to get your chocolate forward in this. So I'm going to do 5 dashes of this.
I haven't seen those before.
No, you should smell it. Oh, you don't know what you're missing.
Oh, wow.
Tootsie Roll is what I feel like I almost get whenever I smell that. We're also going to use creme de coco dark. I prefer, don't get the white one, the creme de coco white if you're going to make this cocktail. It's not, it doesn't give that chocolate flavor. It's going to taste almost more like white chocolate. Okay. The white does to me. So the dark is the best. So I'm going to do 3/4 ounce of this here as well. And then none other than our big ice cube. You have to have it.
Gotta have the big cube.
Gotta have the big cube. And now 2 marshmallows.
Most important part, right?
Most important part. Do you like black marshmallows or barely done?
In between.
In between.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll make it just right for you, Beth.
Say that looks about perfect right there.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, this is I'm going to stir this just a bit for you as well. This, you need to get a little bit of the graham cracker, a sip of the bourbon, and then a bite of your marshmallow. But I mean, this is it's a beautiful cocktail. Yeah. And people absolutely love this. So,
it's beautiful and it smells
oh
awesome.
My gosh, it does smell like a bonfire whenever you make this drink.
Yeah, I know I'm going to love this.
Yeah, that's the number 2 bourbon cocktail I've sold.
So am I supposed to try to drink this with the marshmallows on top?
Marshmallow, the rim, and then a bite of it. That's great. Oh, I've seen it. I've seen it done. Chocolate.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Bite the
I would.
now,
then it's like completely some more.
Okay.
You get it all.
Trying to be.
Oh,
that's not going to work.
I have 6 kids, so it doesn't bother me anymore. But I mean, what do you get?
Yeah, that's awesome.
You're so talented.
Thank you.
So yes, and it's fun for adults just to play with. Have some soda water if you can toss them on your fingers. That's the fun part about making cocktails. You just have to.
Man,
do you love it? It's my favorite. I'm telling you.
And it's not overly sweet. It's not. A lot of times I know, especially bourbon drinkers, if you're used to drinking straight or just on the rocks,
they'd be like, I don't think I want this.
Yeah, that's a drink I could definitely
have 1 or 2 of.
Yes.
The marshmallow really finishes it, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Amanda, while we're between drinks here,
yes,
why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell them a little bit about yourself and how you got into bartending. And
Okay. So I've been doing food and hospitality for probably about 20 years. It fell into my lap, the schedule that you can make as a bartender and how it works with your family. But I've been bartending for about 15 years. We now run a small business. It's called Everlasting Pour. We do weddings and private parties on the side as well. At Fireside Bar and Grill, which we're shooting from currently, I've been here for about, I think, going on 8 years. A long time.
Wow, that is a long time. Doesn't seem like it.
No, it really doesn't. This is where we met in here, actually. But I love what I do. I love people. Hospitality is, just one of my favorite things. And it also helps because I have 6 kids, like I said, and so we homeschool as well. So we homeschool in the mornings, I work in the afternoon, and then my husband and I run our small business on the side as well. So I love it. I love putting flavors together of cocktails and making things. Listening to your customers is really, really important. They're going to tell you what they love. Sure. And, I really want, to try this, or can you make this? And it's kind of an art, and it's just fun to create. And then find something that people love and mass produce it, and it be, something that is in high demand that people really want. Sure. And so I guess that's just a couple things about it. It
is an art, and I can attest, in my opinion, she's the best bartender in Southern Indiana for sure. Probably in the whole Louisville metropolitan area.
That's big, big words.
I believe that, and I'll tell you a little bit of a story about Amanda. The first time I ever came in here and you were here, I don't even remember specifically what the situation was, but it was maybe a month or two at least between the first time I met you and the second time I was back. And I walked in and she was like, "Hey, Glenn, old fashioned?" I was like, "What?"
I love that.
That's great. That's awesome. You can't teach that.
No, you can't. But people want to feel like more than a face in the crowd. I feel like professional, individual relationships and personal relationships with people, knowing how they're doing and some of their story and, their backgrounds, and, people appreciate small talk whenever you can have it. There's a place, to be serious and fun and joke and laugh, but to know your customers, I feel like it's genuine, it's unique, and food and hospitality is not what it used to be.
No, and so especially these days. Customer service is not what it used to be.
It's not at all.
When you find great customer service, it's something to be respected.
100%.
And the fact that you have 6 kids, I have 5 myself.
You do have, yes.
I struggle to remember their names. So the fact that she can homeschool 6 kids and do her job and still remember her customers' names, I think that's phenomenal.
That's great. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a compliment.
So let's, what are we doing next?
This is definitely a dessert that customers, when they come in, ask for after dinner often. It is a bourbon ball martini. Have I ever made you one of these before?
You know what? I think possibly I've had one of these. But
it is definitely, I say top 5 that I've asked for. If I have bourbon cocktails and give me something that I'm going to love, not too sweet, like this hits home. It is a home run for sure.
Balls. Love chocolate, love bourbon. You can't go wrong.
Cherry, almond. So this is 2 ounces of Angel's Envy, which is, again, phenomenal in all cocktails. I'm going to do 5 dashes of Fichaud's bitters. Have you ever used this one?
No.
So Fichaud's, if you don't have this, you can use Angostura. This is like the light version. It's not as forward. And it's just a great mix for Manhattans or any other cocktail. I'm going to do 5 dashes of this. It sounds like a lot, but when you taste the drink, you're like, how is this going to go together? But it just does. And then I'm going to do creme de coco dark. Again, we're going to do 3/4 ounces. The dark is the best. And we're going to do some amaretto. Would you mind grabbing me the amaretto behind you very far right? You got it. Perfect. And we're going to do a 1/2 ounce. Di Serono is really, really good as well. This is just the and it's just a 1/2 ounce baby splash. Just put that next to you. And I'm going to put a little ice in this. and give it a stir. Sometimes I shake this. Do you ever get bourbon drinkers that say, don't bruise the bourbon? What does bruised bourbon taste like, Glenn?
You know, I don't know, and this kind of leads into something that,
yes.
that
this is
I
great.
wanted to talk to you about.
Okay.
So, bourbon drinkers are a special breed, aren't they?
They are. They know their stuff.
Some of them, and they like to let you know that they know their stuff,
yes,
right?
they do.
So, what's the best thing about bourbon drinkers, and what's the worst thing about bourbon drinkers from a bartender's perspective?
The best thing about bourbon drinkers is they know exactly what they want. They know what kind of bourbon, how they want to drink it. And mostly it is on the rocks or neat with some ice on the side or a splash of water, and that's it. I've had run-ins with customers that will ask me the same thing. And if someone else is sitting at the restaurant at the bar and they say, I'll just have a bourbon and Coke, they're like, how dare you? Let them drink their bourbon the way they want to drink it. So I love that they know exactly what they want. And it is quick. What can I get you to drink? They're like Blanton's on the rocks, Blanton's neat, Eagle Rare, Elijah Craig, straight up, you know, just they know exactly what they want. I say that's my favorite thing. What do I not like about it?
Is the worst thing the fact that they want to tell other people how to drink their bourbon, or no?
The really adamant, strong bourbon drinkers will go on and on and on, and they will tell you where it came from, the barrel it was picked from, the proof of it, the only way to drink it, if it was made to mix, if it wasn't made to mix. It is on and on and on and on and on, and they will tell everyone about it, and if they're drinking it right, if they're drinking it wrong. But, you know, you just kind of have to love them because the bourbon industry is big now. And you don't hear bourbon drinkers talk. You don't hear any other people, like vodka's not talked about like bourbon. No. Rum's not talked about like bourbon. Tequila's not. Like, it is bourbon. And people love it. And it's very, very, I feel like women are getting into drinking it more. I like old fashions myself. I like to taste bourbons neat now that I know that if you put or add water to it, it changes the molecular structure and it tastes completely different.
No doubt.
So that's fun to know whenever you're tasting bourbons to mix with. I did not know that Woodford was specifically distilled to be a mixing bourbon. I didn't know that. And so now it helps me when I make cocktails to know, like, if you taste this, you might get banana. Or if you taste this, so to mix and make cocktails, it's good to know, you know, those things. But I feel like it's a never-ending knowledge pool when it comes to bourbon, you know.
Do you ever have people explain to you how you should make a cocktail?
Oh, 100%. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong,
I've been
Amanda.
guilty of this in the past because, believe it or not, I think living here in the bourbon capital of the world,
yes,
that you should be able to walk into any restaurant or bar and get a properly made old fashioned, right?
100%.
That's not the case.
It is not the case at all. No, it is not. From here to Jeffersonville, that's 15 minutes away, what you get here is not what you'll get there, not what you get in Louisville. High-end restaurants, they are all completely different, specific to
and I guess people do have different
maybe?
ideas, but
sure.
For me, there should never be muddled fruit. There should never be an orange slice.
No, really? Okay, so I have some that's like, you better muddle it.
Really?
Like, I want it muddled. And you should, coming to another point, you should never assume that is the way a bartender is going to make it. If you like it, specifically suggest, I want it peeled and twisted and hit the flame with it so it extracts the oils from it and then put it in my drink. There are a million ways to drink an old fashioned.
Offend you if someone gives you,
actually, I love it.
You'd rather know up front, right?
Yes.
And afterwards?
Like, one thing that I love is tell me how you want me to make your drink, because an old fashioned is specific to the person. Some people like sweet old fashions. Right. Have you ever been to Wisconsin or waited on another specific point? I'm going to get a pick for this.
Yeah, I had a good friend and a neighbor who was from Wisconsin. And his idea of an old fashioned was nothing close to what.
Yuck! I'm sorry, Wisconsin. I love you, and I wait on so many people from Wisconsin, but there is no room for a sour old fashioned in this restaurant.
No.
Or they put olives in it. Olives in an old fashioned, friends. No, this should not be. This should not be. this is our bourbon ball. Another beautiful cocktail.
It is beautiful.
And I love it up like this, almost like a Manhattan.
Yeah, that is
delicious. And I do a
phenomenal.
chocolate covered cherry on top. But if you have bourbon balls, by all means, throw that on there. But it is very smooth for what it is.
That's perfect.
Do you? I love that cocktail.
Just enough cherry in there. The bourbon still holds up and shines.
Yes, 100%. It's a good one.
Are we having a taste here?
Yes, I would love one. And if you want, in your comments, I can list all the recipe ingredients for your customers that would like to make these cocktails. It's
Kenny,
so
we
good.
got her drinking.
Kenny, we got her drinking. Watch out, everybody. So our last one, it's not a bourbon cocktail.
Okay.
So I hope we don't offend our friends.
It's the holiday, so we got to branch out.
Oh my gosh, yes. So the number one selling cocktail for fall this year has been a fall Long Island iced tea of all things.
Okay.
So
sounds dangerous.
It is. So drinkers beware. This is definitely just a 1, maybe 2.
Okay.
But it's smooth and it's so easy to drink. It's very apple. And everyone that has had it is like, can you keep this on the menu? I'm like, I cannot. This is only a fall cocktail, so I'm so sorry. But everyone absolutely loves it.
All of these up here.
Oh, I know. They're so pretty. They're so pretty. So I'm going to rim my glass with cinnamon sugar, same as I did last time. I think that this drink needs this rim on it. So this is traditional, like a fall or like a regular Long Island iced tea. It has your vodka, gin, rum, triple sec. If triple sec, just a tip for bartenders, if you want to take your drink to another level, if there is ever triple sec in a cocktail, use Cointreau. Okay. Cointreau, however you like to say it. It's the middle of your road orange liqueur, and it will take, I feel like, triple sec is too sweet, but Cointreau is just perfect. It will elevate your cocktail without you even knowing it. Like if you tried one next to another, you'd be like, oh, this one's better. And it's hard to substitute Cointreau with any other orange liqueur, but I have found, if this is something that you want at your bar, Total Wine has an orange liqueur called Callier, Callier, and it is almost identical to Cointreau, but half the price point. So $35 bottle of Cointreau, this is like $15. So great to have in your bar. Yes, mark that down. Great to have in your bar. If you're making a lot of cocktails with friends at home, anything like that. Now this, Red Delicious, I'm telling you what, this is such an underrated vodka. And it smells exactly like what I just said. I mean, wow. This is phenomenal. Phenomenal vodka. For this specifically, you'll taste it whenever I make it, but everything's a half ounce. Half. So half an ounce of Red Delicious. My favorite.
Yes.
Yes, Cointreau, half ounce. Gin, I just use gin. Okay. It all mixes together, so everything is going to be. And then rum. So repeat, Red Delicious vodka, Cointreau, rum, and gin. And then we're going to top.
What did we rim it with?
The cinnamon sugar. Okay. It is perfect in this. And then I'm going to top this with some ice and 4 ounces of apple cider.
Okay.
And you really don't have to measure. I get it to about right here. Then I'm going to top this with Sprite, which I have in my gun over here. And I'm going to garnish this with just an apple slice. It's beautiful. It's fun. And this is a batch cocktail too. Like this you can make so quick. It's so delicious.
Great presentation.
Thank you. You are absolutely. You can do a cinnamon stick for sure in this as well. GFS. Do not go to the store and buy cinnamon sticks. They're so expensive. But
I wouldn't even know where to go to buy
you must. I think even Sam's, but like a whole huge container is like $13. Okay. And the little jar at the store is like $11. Like save yourself some money and have it if you're going to use it a lot in the holidays. Fall Long Island iced tea. Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
You know, that's not bad. That's pretty good, actually.
The ladies love it.
Yeah, that's really good. And once again, very dangerous.
Very dangerous. Yeah. There is a lot of alcohol in that you would never know.
Yeah. I'm usually not a sweet or very sour drink person. I
Sure.
stick to the basics usually.
Yes.
But this, I could definitely drink this.
Sip at Thanksgiving with the family.
Absolutely,
Everybody will
yeah.
be getting along after you get
Yeah.
each one of those.
Are you
Yes,
having a drink of this
I
one?
would love a sip. I'm not an LIT drinker. Like,
No.
I feel like it's in the past, but not anymore. I
Mhm.
feel like these are all coming back.
I have a sister-in-law who's a big LIT drinker, so I'll have to pass on this.
I think you
recipe to
need
her.
the cinnamon with this.
Yeah,
most
I think
definitely.
it would be. Yeah.
You taste the apple first,
Mhm.
and it's a phenomenal. And this is another one, batch, put in a big vat, and you can dispense.
Mhm.
I would suggest small cups, friends, for
Yes.
these.
And make sure everyone has a
Make
ride
sure
home.
everyone has a yes. Oh, that's great.
Well, Amanda, I really appreciate you taking
This was
time
so
to do
fun.
this. This was fun. I think we have 4 great cocktails here that don't appear super complicated to make.
No, not at all.
And so I think people will really benefit from this. And tell everyone here about Fireside.
So Fireside is located in Sellersburg, Indiana. It has been here for 40 years. Neil and Patty, the previous owners, owned it, and then before that, I mean, it's definitely a staple in Sellersburg. A lot of people don't know about it. It's a
No.
little hole in the wall. You would drive past it and never know it was here. But when you come in, it feels like Cheers, like a home away from home. The food is fantastic. Everything is made fresh ingredients. I feel like that says a lot. You know,
Great service.
we love our service, our staff, our managers are phenomenal. The new owner that just previously took over, he's fantastic. And they do such a great job in here. And it's small and quaint. And I think if you come in, you're going to love it.
I love this bar. I'm
It's
a sucker
beautiful.
for the old style, dark.
Irish pub almost looking.
Yes, bars.
Is exactly
I love
what,
it.
yes.
Shout out to Kenny Prince, general
Yes,
manager, buddy
he
of
is
mine.
awesome.
And tell them once again about your new business.
So it is called Everlasting Pour. So you can find me on Facebook, TikTok. You can see me making a couple of these signature cocktails. And all of my contact information is on Facebook and TikTok. If you ever need me to bartend an event or a special party you're having, we would love to make your day even better than it's already going to be.
So be sure to go find her socials, give them a like, give them a
Yes,
follow.
absolutely,
And
sure.
if you live in the southern Indiana or Louisville area, make sure to stop into Fireside. Or
Yes.
if you don't, if you're coming in town to do bourbon tours, it's not very far. Shoot across the bridge,
Very
hit
quick.
up Fireside, come see Amanda, and then maybe you can head up to Starlight and check out Starlight Distillery as well.
Yes, all so close.
Thank you
This
so
was great.
much.
Thank you.
Had a
This
great
was so
time.
great. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
And we have to do our signature
Okay,
sign-off.
what's the signature sign off? Hit me with it.
You got to keep your wallets loose
Keep your wallets loose
and your bungholes tight.
and your bottoms tight.
Night, everybody.
That's great.
What the hell? Like, what's going on with your
Yeah.
pacing here, man? What is this, the King's Speech? Tonight,
I consider myself the
We are
luckiest
going
man
to
on the face of the earth.
Fireside.
Good.
These are
Accept it.
beautiful. Let's go.
Are we ready?
We're ready.